where the stories are told. Warrior hearts beating brave and bold. Small town pride in the air we breathe. The spirit of the game will never leave. Forever and always go Warriors, we shout. With fans in the stands, there's never a doubt. Game day Saturdays where memories ignite. Under the lights we fight the good fight.
Welcome to this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast. Once again, I'm Troy Thompson sitting here in Andy's chair, which, because he's not here, that's why I'm sitting, and I just noticed he really has it set down low, and that looks better to me. All right, so I am doing the podcast solo again as far as the hosting responsibilities go, and that's simply because Andy's been gone for 12 days. He did get back. However, he wants to spend some time with his lovely wife, Keelan. We totally understand that, so that's okay. Last night, we're recording this on a Thursday. Obviously, it comes out today, which is a Friday, just before the big home game this weekend. And so I was doing the Warriors live show, as many of you saw, and we were out at Shooter's Bar and Grill. Had the opportunity to sit down with Marcus Arthur, and I have this opportunity. I said, hey, why don't you come out and we'll do a podcast? So, hey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're here, yeah. It's 2 nights in a row.
Back.
Yeah. I mean, probably starting to feel pretty famous, I would imagine.
A little
Little bit, yeah. Now, you have been in. We talked last night, and so some of this stuff is going to be repetitive for the folks who've seen both shows, but that's okay. We want to get to know you a little bit better. This is a long format. It's a great thing about a podcast, so we'll wander off in different directions and just have a regular conversation. But first of all, you are a linebacker, and you're on the 2 deep. You're starting this weekend, and so let's talk a little bit about that. Might as well get it right out of the way. Let's talk a little bit about Concordia University, the Bulldogs. They're coming into this game. They are 2-0. They've only played 2 games. This will be their 3rd game. And as Coach told us last night, it's because they do not play a 0-week game like we did against Northwestern.
Right.
So they played week 1, they played week 2, and then they had a bye week last week.
Right.
And then here we are, and this is their 3rd game, and it's our 5th already.
Yeah.
So how are we? You're coming in off of a practice on a Thursday night. What do you guys do on a practice on a Thursday night?
Thursday night practices are more good on good. We're trying to just keep the tempo up, especially with how Concordia plays. They're an up-tempo team. They're going to snap the ball with 27 seconds left on the clock.
That's right.
Yeah, we're just trying to play while we're tired and just make sure we can still do our jobs, because when you get tired, the simple stuff starts wavering. So we just got to be able to log in while we're still tired, and that's kind of what Thursday practices are for. 2-minute drills, win the game, onside kick, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because obviously we have their film.
Right.
We know what they're doing, at least in the last 2 games, and of course we've got film from last year when we played them down there in Seward, Nebraska, and so we kind of know what they're going to run,
right?
And so is there anything unique about their offense that you saw? Is there anything special that we haven't seen before?
No, they keep it simple, but they're good at what they do.
Yeah,
and sometimes simple's good.
Yeah.
If you can do it efficiently, that's all you need.
So they're going to try to run the ball.
Yes, they are.
And they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And we talked about the running back last night, and I don't have my notes in front of me, so now I'm feeling weak here. But so like, what was his number? Is it
7?
7? Yeah, 7.
That's their number 1 guy.
Yeah, that's their guy, and they're going to go to him. And if we can stop that, they're going to come back to it. They're going to keep trying.
Yeah, they're going to keep trying.
But then they'll go to the air as well.
Right.
Yeah, and we know about their 3 receivers that they've got. We talked about them a little bit, and I don't know. What do you think about them?
Their receivers are very consistent in what they do. They block well, they run their routes well, and they catch the ball. I believe if we just play the hands and do our jobs, do your 111, I think we can play with them. I know we can play with them.
Yeah.
Player on player, we match up. I feel that we do match up with them very well, and we just gotta just do our job.
They do have some. They have some bigger guys
Yeah.
on their line. Their D line is. I mean, they're all in that 280 to 320 range. I mean, but they're not necessarily giants. They do have a few guys that are 6.5 feet tall. But I mean, in general, we're not much different on the front.
Right.
So on the offense, same sort of situation. So we're just going to have to figure out. Last week you were filling the gaps. You didn't even know you were the leading tackler last week, and you were.
Yeah.
And so to do that, you had to get in there and make things happen.
Put your nose in there.
Last week, I talked to Coach about this this past Wednesday on the Warriors Live show, and I feel like he was pretty open and honest about where we are. We know where we are as a record wise, but we also know just there when you get to that point, it can get you down. So is the team down? I mean,
no, honestly we're in very good spirits. Trying to keep the energy up, keep morale high.
Yeah.
Season's gonna have its ups and downs, but I feel like if you want to move forward, you're gonna have to you might have to take a hit or two, but it's how you react, how you come back, and I feel that we're gonna finish the season off great.
Yeah,
I know we will.
We have a tough schedule. I mean, the GPAC in itself is tough. Every team is competitive, and this next week or two is challenging. Concordia was 8-2 last year. They didn't get into the playoffs with an 8-2 record. They only play 10 games, which is we have a 10-game season. Last year we had an 11-game season. I think most of the teams in the GPAC are just content with 10 games is all we need. We've got enough games we can play just within our own conference. Right. It's a great conference. There's no need to go out and find a St. Francis or what we were doing before. Right. And in years past, we'd gone out to Michigan and just picking up some other games and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to just play 10. But they were 8-2 on a 10-game season. Didn't get into the playoffs. I think they were, understandably kind of upset about that.
Right.
And as Coach said, we were there on Parents' Night last year. It was the first game. They did play a week 0 game last year, right. and that's when we were there in Seward. And sure enough, they graduated, I think, something like 30, 40 guys,
right.
And then. But their rosters, they're still right up there at 100 and just shy of 150. So they just kind of reloaded, right. And Coach talked a little bit about that. I think it was, who was I thinking? I guess I was talking about the corners that they have. They have one corner who's like 5'8", and you probably don't spend a lot of time looking at their defense because there's no point. We talked about it a lot on the Warriors Live. So they got a 5'8" guy who's really scrappy, wrestled in high school and all that stuff, but he's been at Concordia for all 4 years. And then they've got this other dude who's like 6'1", and this is like his fourth stop. Like last year he was at Winona State. The year before that he was at, I don't know, might have been Vanderbilt. And then the year before that he was somewhere else too, but like all places that you've heard of. And he's at Concordia as a senior. So I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the portal, right? Like right. That's where they're getting the guys and reloading. They probably saw that 8-2 record and they said, okay, let's jump on here and everything like that. Yeah. So Coach really wasn't talking so much about like the attitude overall as a team because the culture is good. He says we've built a good culture. That's true. The team knows that, you guys love each other. You guys have a lot that you can do. You got a lot of talent, and that's obvious. And then, it's a matter of, so what happens when things get tough.
Right.
And they're going to get tough. And I think, the deeper you get into a season, and we haven't won a game yet, and then you start thinking, well, when something goes wrong, he was saying we have to move on immediately. Like we can't dwell on it. We can't let down our guard or anything like that. I would say that's I hate to say it, but I mean that seems to be maybe more obvious or problematic, maybe on the offense a little bit, just because sometimes they struggle to get things going. They get down to the, they move the ball, they're doing what they need to do, but we just haven't gotten in the end zone. Do you see that though on the defense? I mean, things go the wrong way. Somebody gets a big breakaway play, they run for 70 yards, they get a huge 40-yard pass, or a return that they shouldn't have taken 40 yards on us or something like that. Does the defense take those moments and they get down at all, or?
I feel like at times it might happen, but I feel like that us as a defense, we do stay together, and we bounce back.
Yeah.
Just do what we can to stave off any points, and just try to give the ball back to our offense. Let them do what they do.
Yeah. Well, you guys did that last week in Hastings. We're down in Hastings, Nebraska, played Hastings College, and the time of possession was almost equal. I think we had like 29-40, and they had like 30-20 or something like that. I mean, it was something close, within a minute, very, very close as far as the time of possession. And so it didn't feel that way, though. I was at the game, and it felt like, man, the defense is out there all the time. But you really weren't. It's just the half the time.
Right.
How did you get? Did it feel like you guys were out there?
More late in the game, it did feel like we were out there a lot. But when we're out there, we gotta make a statement. You gotta just roll with the punches and just give the ball back to our offense.
So the Bulldog situation, they're going to run the ball, and they're going to try to hammer it down, and like you said, they're hurry up offense.
Right.
So they keep it simple. They have I don't know their playbook, but it sounds like it's nothing that is you haven't seen before.
Right.
And like you said, sometimes simple is good, but they add to that the fact that they're just very disciplined, and then they get set immediately.
Right.
So that's going to cause some problems, because we like to, everybody likes to get set up again. So do we have like a rotation, or what we're just playing? How do you practice for that?
These past 2 days we've been, they've been having us do hurry up stuff after each play. Go touch the sideline, run back next play. Go touch sideline, run back next play. Keep going, and then we'll rotate after that. But they want to get us tired so we can have our lungs up under us, and just be able to go, and just stay consistent and stay fighting.
Does that change your mentality at all when you're going fast too? You're practicing to basically be a hurry up defense. Right. So does that change? Like, does it fire the synapses? You get fired up more, or if you're consciously doing that, and instead of just getting tired or going, oh, we got to do this again.
I think it's me. When we're tired, we really gotta focus in. So I don't really think it's more hype. I feel like it's more, hey, this is the call. This is what we're doing. You know what you're doing, and you got to be able to play while you're tired. Stay consistent while you're tired, and I feel like that's what we've been doing this week, and I feel like it's going to translate over to Saturday. And
so, in every game, tuning into your keys based on your position is going to be critical.
Right.
But in this game, in this type of situations, but when it's hurry up, like, you got to know your keys.
Yeah, you got to know them and trust them. Trust your eyes.
Yeah. You don't want to give away anything spectacular, but obviously you're looking at where do they put the back in different spots, or is he always lined up the same way?
He's 9 times out of 10 in pistol.
Okay. And so they're pretty good, and their quarterback, I think he's a senior. He is a senior. Last year he was the backup, and he played against us. He threw, I think, 200 yards, in passing against us. So he got time last year. He's seen us before, and now he's their QB1. with that kind of experience between the quarterback, the running back, and the experience that they've got on their receivers, for example, and even on the line, you said they're pretty disciplined.
Right.
Like there's probably not a lot of tells. I mean, I would imagine that every offensive lineman knows that if I start pointing my toes a certain way or pointing even my fingers a certain way because my setup or whatever, like you're going to key that,
Right.
and the linemen are going to be looking for little changes like that. And then in the backfield, if the guy's got one step off, pointing a different direction, that can be a key.
Right.
So those type of things you're looking for. What other types of stuff, just in general, any game are you looking for? Can you even see that where you're at?
I can. I would prefer not to say on.
You don't want to say what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Don't want to give them any tips. I don't believe. Hey, they could be. This is a very popular show within the G. There's no other podcast in the GPAC that's got a weekly podcast for their football team. So we've had some of their coaches on in the off season, and just as guests, and it's been great conversation. But yeah. So yeah, they and I think that they even last year, I think they did listen because we had that whole summer series where we talked about every town and every school, and we were kind of hard on Seward because that was our first game and we didn't know anything about it. I mean, not hard on them. We just didn't know that they have a Sasquatch museum, for example. You know what Sasquatch is, right?
Yeah,
Bigfoot?
like Bigfoot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why in Nebraska they have that. It's not like it's associated with the school or anything. It's just part of the town. It's a bigger town than Forest City for sure. But they have a Sasquatch museum. No, was that Hastings? That was Hastings. I'm still a week behind on that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Seward. You don't have a Sasquatch museum. You had the world's biggest time capsule. That's what they had. It was like shaped like a pyramid, and in that time capsule, what do you think it was huge. Like, I mean, it was like basically they buried a garage is what they did. So they had a couple of cars in there.
Oof.
Yeah, from 1975. So it was they opened it up this past July. So the 50 years later. Ooh, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why they opened it up 50 years later, because in 50 years, like, I'm 50 years old, and so it's like I still remember what the 70s were like as a child. So I mean, people are still alive that are way older than me. I don't know if it's that big of a exciting situation to open something up 50 years and see something from 50 years ago. Maybe they should have waited another 50 years. So like most of those, everybody's gone and they're like, what was life like, 100 years ago?
Maybe if they buried something themselves, or one of their parents buried something.
Yeah,
they can see. Maybe that's. I guess
it was a weird list of stuff. Like they had a Chevy Vega, which is a car, and it wasn't like even a cool car, but they had a Chevy Vega, a brand new Chevy Vega that they put in there. There was another car, I can't remember what kind it was, and then they had like a ladies' brassiere and just a variety of it was packed full of stuff. I never think there's a little motorcycle in there, like all that, so I suppose 50 years later you could probably fix those things up and they might be worth something. I don't know.
You would think so,
yeah,
especially if they're in good condition.
I don't know if the brassiere was really worth anything, but who knows, So they're famous for that. The town is, and it was next to a furniture store for some reason. I remember I stopped by when we went to I traveled out to see the game last year, and we did stop, and I did take a picture by it and everything like that. So I was there, and now it's open. I don't know, maybe they put more stuff back into it. In another 50 years, they'll do something. And then by that time, I'm assuming I'll be pretty close to being gone. I'm probably gone. I'll be 100. So, but they, as a school, they are also a Lutheran school. Concordia is, and they're part of the Concordia system. Have you heard of that?
No.
So there's like, I don't know how many exactly there are, but let's say there's 7 Concordia schools. So there's I think there's a Concordia in Michigan. I know there's a Concordia that's D2 in St. Paul, Minnesota, or Minneapolis or whichever one. You've got Concordia, Nebraska, which we play. There's probably a Concordia, Wisconsin, which would make sense because, just in general, they are a very conservative Lutheran school. I think I don't know if they're Missouri Synod or Wisconsin. I don't know which synod but they're very conservative. Whereas like Waldorf and who do we play? Midland, the other Warriors, they're also Lutheran, and they're like ELCA. So like we're like, I guess the more liberal of the Lutheran schools, and then every school in the GPAC is a church school.
Right.
Yeah. Did that have anything to do with coming to Waldorf?
No.
No. Do you go to church, or is that a church thing?
Not as much as I should.
Oh well, we are all in that boat. All in that boat. Grow up going to church and that type of thing.
Yeah, and then kind of got to the age where I didn't want to go anymore. So
yeah,
kind of stopped going. But these past few years, I've been trying to just go a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I know every time before I leave, I go at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. And so, what kind of church? What was Lutheran, Baptist, Methodist, non-denominational, Catholic? Which was it?
Christian.
Oh, just non-denominational.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And so, I mean, let's see, because you're from California.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it a big church that you went to?
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
I mean, you come from a big area, not too far away from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, I know about all of the Tarzana, California. We talked about that on the Warriors live show. Did you look at the Edward?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Haven't had the time.
Yeah. The book Tarzan. You can see the movie. There's a Disney version too. You get the idea.
Right.
Yeah, Burroughs. Yeah. So, I just think that's interesting. How old were you when you said, "Yeah, I'm just kind of, teenager"?
Like probably, I had just started high school, so like 13.
Yeah. Was it like after confirmation or something like that?
She said, "Do you want to go to church?" And I'm like, "I have an option."
She never should have said that.
And I said no, and she left, and I stayed home.
Mom, she's going to church.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't make people. Well, you can make your kids go to church. Like that's just a routine and a habit and everything like that. And then, I've noticed that in a lot of churches, particularly the ones like that do confirmation, so they'll get through that usually around that 8th grade or freshman year, and then they'll be confirmed, and then now they're kind of done with, like, if there's a children's church or something like that, now they got to sit in church with the parents.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't want to
go anymore.
I don't want to go anymore. And that happens. It happens too much, I think. Like, you're right. You want to find, but you got to find it on your own. You got to find a reason,
right,
to go there, and do that. So, interesting. Yeah. That's a conversation I've had. I have 4 boys, and so, it's always a conversation that we've had with them. If you're living at home, you're going to church with us. I mean, doesn't,
Yeah.
It's not a choice, confirmed or not. You're going to go to church, but because that's how it was with me when I was growing up. Like, we go to church every Sunday,
Yeah.
In fact, we had to, like, if we left like on vacation or we took a weekend trip, went out to see my grandparents or something like that. Like, my Sunday school teacher, Mirth Smith, she would want, like, I had to bring a bulletin from the church that I went to while we were gone from the church that we normally went to. So I'd have to give that as evidence that I was in another church on a Sunday.
Okay.
How about that?
Homework at church.
Yeah. And we did it because, it's accountability type things. It's not like we were like, oh, I forgot. Let's stop. Quick buy. I got to jump in here. Can I just get a bulletin? Let's see. Like, it's a menu. Thank you. I'll keep this. Consider it later and go. I don't know. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that more often. Do you have now? They do have. This isn't like a church show or anything like that. They have chapel at Waldorf. Do you ever make it to any of those? No. Does anybody go to those?
A few people do, but
yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, chapel was the same time. It's like 10 o'clock or 9:40 or something like that.
9 or 10. It's early,
It's in that. Oh, that's early.
especially after a game. That's early.
Yeah. Now, is that so? What's your early classes though?
I got a 8:30,
Okay.
a 9 o'clock, and the 7:30.
Oh, you got a 7:30.
Yes.
Those that is too early.
Yeah.
7:30 in the morning is too early.
Yeah, right after
What-
meetings.
Yeah. What? So you have meetings before that?
Yep.
What time do you have meetings?
6.
6 o'clock meetings.
Yep.
Is that every day?
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay.
Twice a week.
Yeah. So what time do you have to get up then to trundle on down there?
Normally up by 5:15.
Okay.
Get ready, get myself composed.
Yeah.
And I'm out the door 5:45.
Then you got your meetings at 6, and then that goes to 7.
6:45.
6:45?
Depending on how much we can get done.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably head back to my room, probably grab a snack, and go straight.
Yeah. So you're not going to the cafeteria to eat breakfast.
No.
All right. Do you ever go to the cafeteria to eat breakfast?
No, I got like the little instant oatmeals in my room.
Okay.
Put some water in, go to class.
So you're in the dorm. You stay in the dorms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which dorm?
I stay in the Columbia house, so it's right across.
Oh, you're in a house.
Yes, and right across street from Breen.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Nice. So you have a kitchen and everything like that.
Right.
Tell you what, I'll send you home with some eggs. You know how to make eggs?
Yes, I do.
You got a way to make eggs?
Yes, yes.
And I got 19 chickens, and they are prolific. They are making today. They made 16 eggs, and the day before they made like 14. One day they made 19. Like every single one of them produced an egg. I can't believe every day it's like that. So I'll send you back with some eggs. How many roommates do you got in the Columbia house? 3?
Yeah.
Are they all football players?
Yes.
Okay. So who are your roommates?
Woody and Justin.
Woody and Justin.
Woody plays linebacker and Justin plays safety.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And just 3. That's not bad though.
Yeah. We all got our own space.
And you're all on the defense.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to get a house?
You kind of just have to apply for it, and then just show what you're going to be doing there. You have to host an event, which we did already, and kind of just.
What kind of an event do you host?
It was a game night.
Okay.
We had spike ball, and we playing Uno. We had what's the game where you throw the little like little beanbag in the hole? Cornhole.
Oh yeah.
Cornhole, there we go.
Bags.
Yeah.
Cornhole. Yeah. So you had that going on.
Yeah.
Just all yard games.
Yeah, just having a good time and getting to know people.
So having an event at your house is like they listen. You have to have at least one event,
Right.
and you're like, no problem. We're having a house party. We're gonna have to. You can't do that.
No, we can't.
Whoa, yeah. I would have read that way off if I was still in college. I'm like, no problem. Well, several events. Well, it'd be great. Yeah. You're right there, though, by Breen.
Right.
Yeah, so you're not getting away with anything either. You're right there.
No.
But you're kind of right in the middle of campus then. That's nice.
Yeah, it's easy to go here, go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So and were you, because you were here last year.
Right.
So was that where you stayed? Where did you stay last year?
I was in Breen.
You were in Breen last
I
year.
was.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. So, which is better?
I like the house a lot more.
A lot more?
Get my own room to myself. I don't
Yeah.
got to share.
Yeah.
Only thing we really got to share is a bathroom, but keep it clean, keep the kitchen clean.
Is it quieter?
Yeah.
How do you keep the kitchen clean?
So let's say I cook.
Say you're cooking eggs.
Yeah. Say I'm cooking eggs. If I cooked,
Yeah.
the other two gotta clean up, and then we just take turns taking out the trash.
Okay.
Cleaning the bathroom, cleaning up the house. We just take turns. Keep it fair. We have a little list, so everybody stays on track.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're up early, 5 o'clock. I suppose by the time you get to your meetings, you've been up for an hour. By the time you get to class 7:30, I mean that's kind of mid-morning at that point.
Right.
It seems early, but really it's mid-morning because you've already been up for 2.5 hours.
Right.
What class is that?
It's an exercise physio lab. It's
Mhm.
on Thursdays.
Okay.
Goes until 9:20.
Oh, so it's like 2 hours.
Yep, and then got class from 9 to 2:45, all back to back.
Now, when I went to Waldorf, we had like, and I'm assuming it's the same thing. You're in a classroom.
Right.
Now this is a physiology class that you're taking at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Are you actually doing any body movement, or is it
Yeah.
all?
Well, so we're in the lab, taking VO2 maxes, flexibility stuff, heart rate, blood pressure, getting ready for next semester when we actually have our clients, that we're.
Oh, you get clients?
Yeah, we get a teacher that you got to work with, put through a program, that kind of stuff. They give us more information next semester when we actually get it.
So let me get this straight. So right now you're learning how to, because it's exercise science.
Yes.
And so right now you're preparing your program and learning how to
administer tests,
get all the data collected that you would want. And then how many people are in this class?
I think 20. But
You partner up?
Yeah. Well, but they break up the labs into 2 different labs, so there's not a whole bunch of people in one room.
Okay.
It's easier, to get the information on. They break us up. So.
Is it just one for all of those 20, or is it like one teacher, or one, or is it multiple? You have multiple clients.
So next semester it'll be 1 client per person.
Per person.
Per person.
So you get your own client.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
So a perk of being a professor, faculty member at Waldorf is that basically every year, at least in the second semester, you've got somebody looking after your health.
Right.
And then do you administer a program for them for exercise?
To my knowledge, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's I would think that would be a perk. That people would be like, hey, I mean, it's perfect. You're coming in after the new year. You've probably got a bunch of resolutions. You're a 40-year-old professor, and you're thinking to yourself, I need to get in shape. Spring break's coming, and I need to be looking good.
Yeah.
And then but fortunately, we've got this program where I can be a client for free, and these guys are going to help me be better.
Right.
I wonder if that works. I'd be back every January. I'd be like, it was good. I did a lot, and then I kind of, frittered away in the late summer, and then in the fall, I was like, no point in starting right now because I'll just do this again in January. Do you think that happens?
Honestly, I do. I feel like it happens a little bit more than it should.
It happens to people without having that special program.
Right.
They're like, January 1st, new me, I'm starting it. And then January 10th, you're like, I mean, I don't need to be completely new. And then by February, you're like, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you anticipate keeping people motivated to be?
Just let them know that they can do it, and you're not going to get results right away. It's going to take time and effort, and as long as you trust in the program, you'll see the results.
Do you think your grade is tied to their improvement? That could be dangerous.
I'm not sure.
Well, that's a great question. You might want to check.
Sure.
Who's the professor for that? Is it one of the Reynolds?
Yeah, Professor Missy Reynolds.
Yeah.
And then Professor Caleb.
Yeah, you might need to check that out. Because
Yeah.
you'd be like, now you have to do your own draft. You guys should have a draft of all of the clients before you come back to class. So you know how like Waldorf starts, we leave before Thanksgiving, right? So this like 6-week break. And you come back, after the first week of January? So your second
13th.
week? Yeah,
January
second week of
13th, yeah.
January you come back. Sometime after January, you need to have a draft of all of the faculty. This could be epic. You could do a exercise science, kinesiology. Is that what the class is called? Or what's the class actually called?
I actually don't know.
It should
they're
be
telling
called
us as we go.
The Biggest Loser. And just like, so you guys got your own deal. That's awesome. Oh man, do you have to be a faculty member to do that?
I
Like you just be a random member of the community?
I I think so. I think if you volunteer and you meet their criteria, then yeah.
I feel like I could meet the criteria. I feel like I could really use that, New Year resolution, but not like right away. Just maybe like say like 13th, 14th January, like middle January, start the resolution type thing. If your stuff is tied to the success of your professors, you're gonna want to have a draft,
Right.
because there's gonna be. I'm gonna guess. I'm not gonna name any names, but my guess is that there are some going to be a lot more challenging than others, but maybe they aren't because they can show the biggest progress.
Right. You just got to be able to work with different personality types because that's what you're going to get when in the real world. So
yeah, you probably don't want to like have a conflict of interest where it's another professor that you have,
right,
where you could be like, listen, I could make you a lot better if you maybe, help me a lot better in my class with you. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No,
you got to keep them separated.
You got to keep it strictly professional.
Yeah, strictly professional. Yeah, but if they were causing me to like lose or get a bad grade, I'd be like, we're gonna Jillian Michaels you. It's time to get serious on this. No, you wouldn't. Nah, you got time to think about it. You got to get that strategy together. And if you want help, just even conducting the draft for fun, I would love to put that together. That would be hilarious. I don't think Missy would like it, but there's humor involved in everything.
Right.
I mean, maybe I don't want to mess up her pool of volunteers either.
Right.
I don't want to maybe I shouldn't get involved. Maybe I should volunteer. I don't know. All right, so enough of that. So that's the 7:30 class, and then you obviously, and then the rest of your day is pretty full, and until 2:30. Is that pretty much every day, or is it just Thursday?
Tuesday, Thursday is just Tuesdays. I just don't have the lab.
And Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, are those easy days?
Yep, just 2 classes.
2 classes.
Yep.
Okay, but all related to because you're a senior.
Right.
Yeah. So this is like you're in the business. You're in 400 level classes now.
Yeah.
And it's harder, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
When you were a freshman, did it seem like college was easy? Just a little bit different than high school?
Yeah, especially because I was at a JUCO back home.
Sure.
It was just a lot easier. I picked my schedule was on my time.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I didn't have to leave the house if I didn't want to. I could just log in online.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is easier. Well, the first 2 years I think are easier.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're in an honors class or something like that, and you're just taking all the generals and they're level 100 and 200 classes, and you're thinking college is easy. I don't know what the big deal is with Harvard. How hard can this be? And then you get into the junior year, and they're like, yeah, here's your 40-page paper. It's part of the syllabus. It's due at the end of the semester, and it's got to be started in parts. And you're like,
good luck.
when did this happen? I don't remember this. And then senior, it gets it gets way more focused on you, the individual student, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So you've been to the the big community colleges. We talked about it on Wednesday, like 14,000 students that you had out there, and then now you're in a school with 650 on campus students, very very small. So your classroom. And you said you got 20 people in your class, but you even break the labs up. You just break the labs up, or
just the labs.
Otherwise, all 20 of you are together.
Yeah.
And they're all upperclassmen. They're all juniors and seniors.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're all they're all in the same boat. But how's that to have a small class? I mean,
it's good, teach, like I said the other day, teachers will work with you.
Yeah.
They know you. They try to get to know you, and if you work with them, they will work with you. Just can't come in last 3 weeks of class. How can I raise my grade if you weren't trying to do that all semester? So I think it's a lot better.
Yeah, you want to raise your grade now that you're getting towards the end of the class. You should have been asking that at the beginning.
Right.
Everybody starts out with a 4.0. Everybody has an A+ at the beginning. It works.
Right.
You earn your way down.
Yeah.
So are the tests hard in that particular career field of study?
Yeah, yes, they are. It's either some of the stuff it's either you know it or you don't, and some
Yeah.
stuff you can kind of use. Well, you know it's not this because this is the answer to this answer.
Sure.
And
Multiple choice. Yeah. Yeah.
But a lot of stuff it's either you know it or you don't.
Do you have to learn a lot of, like, you have to memorize like body parts and bones and all of whatever anatomy, I guess? Is that part of it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think I had to take an anatomy class when it was a long time ago, and I don't feel like I was very good at it, but it was interesting,
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah. And it's not like they're changing the names on stuff. I mean, if you had unlimited time, you could memorize probably every part of system of the body, because they're not really changing those names. They're staying the same.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So, how did you get interested in doing that anyway? Like, I mean,
Well, back home, at first I was a business major because I did want to start my own business, but then I don't really like math that much, and they told me I had to take trigonometry, and I was told them no thanks, and I switched to kinesiology, and I feel like that's where I really feel at home because I'm an athlete, and even once my time is done playing sports, I still want to be around. I want to be involved, even if it's on the recovery side, because I do feel that I can connect with athletes. I've been in their position. I understand that they want to get back on the field. So if you want to get back on the field, you should listen. You should listen to me because I've been where you're at, and I can help you get right.
well, it's a growing field, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, particularly with youth sports. Like, there's kids today. Like, when I was in high school, it was extremely rare to see a high school athlete, male or female, that had to get any type of medical procedure done for an injury that was associated with a sport. Now you see people getting knee surgeries for, just heels, knees, joints.
Yeah.
I mean, arms, elbows. It's all over the place. Do you talk about that in the class? I mean, like, why is that?
We don't really talk. We don't really talk about it much. It's more just applied stuff that we can control the controllables, do what we can do, and just try to help them prevent them from getting to that point.
The best way to prevent a sports injury is what?
To do prevention before it happens, before you actually get hurt, and just try to stay healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy. The weight room matters, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, people think weight training makes you bulky and slower, and it can. It depends on what you're trying to do, but it also makes you harder to kill. And I say that as a soldier, but I mean, it's like you stay physically fit so that you're harder to injure,
right?
And you're quicker to recover. You have to stay limber and stretch and be flexible, because I think that's a huge part of, it's like, I hit the weight room, I love working out. Yeah, but it's like you never stretch. So if some of these guys, you put a sticky note on the middle of their back, they
get it off.
can't get it. So it's like, well, you're kind of useless. So like you got to. That's how you I would assume avoid a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what it is in high school, or even when we start so young. Did you start youth sports? How old were you when you started playing any sport?
Third grade.
Third grade, yeah.
I don't even remember how old I was. Just third grade.
I mean, they start earlier than that around here for like things like t-ball and coach pitch and little kids activities with baseball, and just kind of learning. Like, everybody hits, and we all run the bases type stuff. It's terrible, but it's kind of fun. All of them go through that. But like padded football, did you play that as how early? Like fourth grade or
third grade?
Third grade, yeah. We did it. So your teammate, so my son Jack, they had fourth grade. So it was padded football, fourth grade, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and then seventh through. Then that's all in the school district and everything like that. And I thought it made him so that they understood the game, and they definitely knew how to block, and they also knew how to tackle. And then my youngest son, who's a junior in high school right now, and I know you guys go to the games when you're home, so game tonight, Friday night, and so sometimes the Warriors will come down, and that's cool that you guys do that. So he plays. They had flag football. They did not have padded football. So you have one brother who had padded football, and it's like that whole group of kids, they're only 2.5, 3 years apart. They're 3 years apart. They all knew how to tackle, like from 7th grade on, And then my youngest son's group that just did flag football, they're still learning how to tackle. They're doing a lot better now that he's a junior, his group is a junior. They've had years of experience. But boy, that 7th grade year, ooh, that was rough. They had no idea. They don't just stop running because you put a hand on them, Right. Did you like it as a kid? You must have.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
You get to play all the positions?
No, actually I started off as a lineman. I was a center and a guard.
Yeah. That's what I was. I was a guard all the way through high school. I didn't play in college, so I was like, and I loved it. I just loved hitting, and then, but I always kind of resented not being a skilled player. I'm like, skilled player? I'll show you how much skill you get if you can't move, So, but I get it now. All 4 boys, they're all skilled players. They've all been skilled players. I'm to keep doing this. They actually are skilled players. Stop doing the. I can't stop doing the scare quote. They actually are skilled players, and I was the only lineman. So, but I thought that was fun too. Did you do that? When did you start?
When I hit my growth spurt in 7th grade,
Yeah.
I stretched out, got taller. I just worked at it, and I went from guard, center to running back,
Yeah.
linebacker. Then once I got to high school, I played corner for a year. Then they finally put me back at safety, and that's kind of just where I really fell in love with the game.
Yeah. What did you like about being a safety?
The freedom, kind of just.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of just get to follow your gut feeling and just go make a play.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to see the game from, as far away as you can be on the defense, right. And that helps you, figure out what's going on. So you have that. We talked about that a little bit on Wednesday too, just your ability coming from the safety position. It helps you read and see what's happening a little bit. You're not giving away any of your keys, which is good, but it helps you figure out the flow.
Right.
Do you ever get like just a feeling that I feel like what they're going to do is this?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
What would you say your percentage of being correct is?
Probably around 65%.
Okay.
65%, yeah.
You're right, 65% of the time. That's not bad. I mean, it's a D, but we want to do a little better than that, but that's not terrible. Yeah, it's hard to predict what the other team's going to do.
Right.
And that's the fun part of being on defense, because when you're right.
You're right.
When you're right, it sounds so great because they have no idea. They think they've got this one, and you're like, I know what they're doing. And then you can find that gap and meet them right there.
Right.
Yeah, that is fun. Yeah. So we talked about, Tarzana and community college and the hometown and the family and everything back on Wednesday, and we encourage folks to go take a look at our Warriors Live show, which is on our Facebook, on the Waldorf Gridiron Club Facebook. This show, a great opportunity to talk really a lot more about football, and then what you're getting into as a career. After now, is all your eligibility done? All 4 years. This is it.
Yes, sir.
This is it. All right. And then, so we're going to be talking about you on Senior Day, right. Which is I believe Senior Day this year actually is the last game. Last year we were on the road, so this year last game at home and Senior Day, and then what? Obviously, you come back, you do your second semester, you get your clients. That what after Waldorf?
Probably either gonna take a gap year, do a little bit of traveling, or start my master's program. It's one of those.
Do you have to have a master's to do?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
All right. So this is So okay. So your undergraduate is legitimately toward in the career field. You need a graduate degree.
Correct.
Yeah. To practice. Yeah. Okay. So you can take it. That would make sense to take. Is there a test you have to take? Just like that.
For here, you have to test out. It's really pass or fail.
But I mean, like for graduate school.
The schools I've looked at, they aren't really tests. You just have to have a certain amount of requirements, taking these classes, and have so many letters of recommendations, and have a certain GPA.
Yeah.
And then if you're on the chance that you don't have that, they might admit you, and you might be on probation. You have to maintain this, or you're kicked out of the program.
Yeah. Well, was the GPA part of the consideration for the Columbia House?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a good student.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're planning on getting into that graduate school.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, folks, they don't let just every ding dong go live in the house on their own. Like at least not a Waldorf owned house, right? Because there's plenty of houses around town that
Right.
you can be an absolute ding dong and live in those. Yeah, but in your case, you kind of earn that spot.
Right.
So that's good to know. And then is that a 2-year graduate school or a 3-year? 2-year. Mm-hmm. And then what is the letters that come after that? What is it, master's or some sort of what's your certification or?
It'll be a master's in kinesiology, and then I would have to take a test to get certified as an athletic trainer I believe by the board and by the state. And then from there, I can, start.
Yeah, start fixing people. Get real clients.
Right.
Get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is exciting. And it's a big program at Waldorf.
Right.
There's a lot of. I think it's a big program. It seems like there's a lot of people in exercise science. There's a lot of people in sports management. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I mean, like that's a lot of sports management people. And a lot of business, which makes a lot of sense. I think those are probably the biggest programs.
Big three.
Yeah, they got a pretty good education program at Waldorf, from what I understand. Yeah. What else do you do on campus? What keeps you entertained? There's a lot of things going on and a lot of different groups. Do you ever check out any of the band concerts or choir or the performances that they do in the theater or any of that stuff?
Not really. I guess I keep to myself, hang out, with my teammates, my roommates.
Yeah.
Just what I do.
Don't you have to? Like, you don't have to go and see those things? I thought there was like a humanities credit or something there.
Yeah, if you're in artistic expression, then you do have to go.
Oh.
Aside from that.
Just in that one class?
Yeah, they make you go to, I think, 3 or 4.
Man.
And they're always on a Friday, and they're always super late.
Well, times have changed. I mean, granted, it's been like 30 years, but like every student had to have like a certain number of humanities credits. I think you had to go to 4 things a year. So you'd go to one of the plays, or maybe a couple of the plays. Maybe you'd go to a concert that the choir put on, or something like. But you had to go, and like you got your little slip, and
you had to sign in, sign out.
That's right. They don't do that anymore?
They still do.
But just for that one class. Everybody had to do it. That's how they guaranteed having an audience, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
It was like, come see our theater show, It was like, you got to come. Literally, you've got to come, which is good. All right. Well, that's interesting. Well, what happens like as far as like campus life? I mean, you guys are in your own house now. You're a senior. So are there campus events, things like that you guys take part in, or just
whenever they have like a bonfire in between, so between J&L and Tanner, we'll go to that. We'll show up at other team sports events, cheer them on.
Yeah.
Show our support. Just try to be good members of the community.
What's your favorite other sport to go support?
Probably basketball or volleyball. You know, they always keep the energy really high. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, I noticed that basketball's fun, and volleyball they never sit down. Like the girls are always standing, and they're always clapping and cheering each other on.
Yeah.
It's like a lot. I mean, they do. They had a pretty good start to the season, from what I understand. I saw one of their matches, or games, or I don't know which is which. Yeah, I still don't have that quite figured out.
Yeah.
But I do go. I like the Waldorf basketball, and that's fun too. And then that can get rowdy.
Yes,
So it's always fun to see you guys on the other. I always sit on the visitor side. I don't know why. I just always have, But yeah. Okay, so and it's important to those teams too to come out and support. And plus, it's in the winter. I mean, what else are you gonna?
You're
what else are you
right.
gonna do? Yeah. Did you ever go to like the Battle of the Bowmen?
Yeah, I did go there last year.
Yeah.
It was good. I didn't understand what was going on, but
You're not a wrestler.
no.
Yeah. I'm not either, and I didn't understand that's the fifth time that I've hosted the battle, fourth or fifth time that I've announced for the Battle of the Bowmen and at wrestling, and I'm getting better at understanding what's going on and the points that are awarded and for what. But I my first time I was like, ooh, there's 3 points for something, and it is kind of cool that they do it at the Bowmen, and
Right.
get people fired up, and they get their own entrance, and it's really a lot like our hot dog eating contest, to be honest with you, except
Right.
maybe we're a little messier. Yeah, very good. All right, well, it's game day is tomorrow, and it's a home game versus Concordia University-Nebraska. The Bulldogs, like we talked about, they're coming in 2-0, and it is also Faculty and Staff Appreciation Day at Bolstorff Field. So we want to make sure we say thanks to all of our favorite teachers and to all of the faculty, whether they're our favorites or not, and certainly the staff, all of the folks that make Waldorf run behind the scenes. And so we love our staff, people in the administrative offices, people in the maintenance department, everybody that makes Waldorf University what it is. So faculty, staff appreciation at Bolstorff Field. Make sure you come on. They get into the game for free, and most importantly, we just have the opportunity to recognize them. Who you could say probably now as a senior, do you have say favorite? It's like, hey, if I were to give you my top 3 people that I really appreciate off the top of my head, or it doesn't have to be 3, however many people you want to say, professors or staff members at Waldorf. Who do you got, Marcus?
No comment.
You got nobody?
No comment on that one.
No one say that. It's like, listen, he doesn't like any of you guys. Just get me on with it. Yeah. Well, I did have my favorites when I was there. They're no longer at Waldorf. That was a long time ago, and so that you'll obviously have when you graduate. There'll be people that you remember and appreciate. You'll be people that you didn't like either. I've certainly got those. It's just the way college is. But the best part of it is that the friends that you've made along the way, those remain friends, and certainly very good acquaintances as you go through life. And that's the cool thing about being a Warrior, because I feel like football team is a family,
Right.
and you got a whole bunch of brothers that are Warriors with you wherever you go. All right, you got anything you want to say to the fans listening to this? It's a big game with Concordia, and we still got 5 games left on the season after tomorrow. What do you want to say?
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and we're gonna finish strong.
Finish strong. All right. Well, you heard it here, and he said, actually. Wednesday night, you were saying it was like violent. Violent. I was like, yes, we're gonna see some legal violence on the field. Football's a violent game. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun, and watching the Warriors go out and have fun and just knock heads and play our best game on Bolstorff Field at home. Fans love it. Tailgate section's there. The weather's gonna be beautiful. Can't complain about that at all. It is no CM weather. I've noticed. Have you noticed the tiny little black bugs?
Man,
yeah.
getting me.
yeah. It is no-see-em weather, folks, and everybody in Iowa knows what that's all about, especially as harvest starts. They start to come in. It's just irritating. So maybe a little bug spray. That does seem to help keep those things off. Can't do anything about it. It's that way all over the Midwest, and they're probably used to it even down there in Seward, Nebraska, where Concordia is located. All right, appreciate it. Marcus Arthur, the linebacker, going to be on the field, going to be saying his name, making lots of violent tackles, filling that gap, making a huge difference, and maybe being the leading tackler for a second week in a row. But that's not the goal. The goal is to win for the defense, so the offense can get out there. Fantastic. All right. Well, there it is for Andy Buffington, who is not here, but I'm sure he'll be back next week, and we definitely miss him. I'm Troy Thompson, and forever and always, go Warriors.
Tailgate smoke rises under the sky. Laughter and cheers as the moments fly. Players suit up with fire in their veins. This is our home where passion remains. The podcast echoes the stories we share. The live show reminds us we're always there. The best small college where legends are born. A family united in a bond never torn. Forever and always go Warriors, we shout. With fans in the stands, there's never a doubt. Game day Saturdays where memories ignite. Under the lights we fight the good fight.
You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club and be part of the best small college football experience in America. Just visit our website and pick your membership level at waldorfgridironclub.org. You can also click on the Support the Show link in the show notes to donate.